And hello everyone! Well, the last fifth day of the European Rhythmic Gymnastics Championship has come to an end. And today I especially enjoyed watching the competitions, and the reason for that was probably the positive emotions from the kiss and cry from the girls. Well, what happened there, which countries the medals went to, and how the championship ended, I'll tell you in this video. Before you start, do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not done this in 5 days. There are no less interesting starts and the finish line before the Olympics ahead of us. Well, using the link in the description, you can support me with donations if you like what I do. Well, let's imagine that on June 13th we were in Varna and refresh our memory of how the tournament went. Well, of course I want to start with the coolest thing that happened in the tournament. This is with the emotions of gymnasts in kiss and cry. Today they included music that the gymnasts themselves chose, or music popular in the countries of gymnasts. But in any case, all gymnasts are as happy as possible, spend time waiting for assessments, no matter how they performed. We sang along, danced. In general, I think we were glad that these difficult days of the championship came to an end. Well, now that our mood is at best, we can move on to places and assessments. The final with the hoop was won by Varna. Apparently after yesterday she got Edgar and decided from the first sight who was the main leader in the world of rhythmic gymnastics. The performance was great and Dina is just wonderful when she is not crying. I'm very glad that the final started well for her. Silver in the finals was won by Lena and again I'm very happy for Lena. And I think she came to win the finals for being left without medals in the all-around. In general, we have not finals but some kind of vengeful revenge turned out. Well, the bronze was won by the incredible Belarusian gymnast Anastasia Salas. I must say the finals as a whole turned out to be very interesting, since the gaps between the gymnasts are minimal, and in fact, everyone could compete for medals. So Lena Garnaськo was in 4th place, 5th Lala Kramarenko. About Lala, by the way, I'm very glad that she competed in this championship. Unfortunately, it was not possible to get a hold of a personal medal, but for a start, this is not a bad result. In the kiss and cry, it was clear how upset Lala was. As I understood, she did not have time to do something due to the difficulty, since she had no mistakes and she had a very high grade in terms of purity. I think it's important for Lala not to get upset now, but to enter the new season with a cool head. The 6th was Katerina Daseva. In 7th place is Mariana Kalin. Today her day clearly did not start very well. Perhaps she wasted all her luck in the all-around. While the 8th place was taken by Victoria Napriyenko. The final with the ball was again won by Dina. It was an amazing composition. I love this exercise very much. I have also said this many times, but love does not go away, so I repeat myself. In total, the second gold out of 2 in the finals of certain apparatus. And Lena again won silver in the ball, and the gap between the girls is very small, which clearly gives an alarming sign to the approaching Olympics. Less and less gaps, more and more competition. But Lena really performs well, so I personally have no questions. Although I know that there are people who do not like her, and people immediately think that they're pulling her marks. But it is worth remembering that gymnastics is in principle the most subjective kind of sport, and here everyone's grades are stretched as they want. And in fact, we played the game we liked, we didn't like it. But Lena Garnaськo unexpectedly won the bronze medal in the ball, unexpectedly and joyfully, even for Alina herself. In general, there is a policy in the world arena that new gymnasts are held back, and in order to become the top one, needs more than one star to prove that they're a worthy world leader. Which it seems to me is now happening with Belarusian gymnasts. We watched for a very long time and waited for them to start overtaking everyone, and after a while the judges were convinced that they are worthy competitors, and now, according to the estimates, that Nastya and Alina are fighting on equal terms for medals. Arina Averina took only 4th place in the final, and despite the fact that there were no big and visible mistakes, there were enough chances for little things and for dirt. Therefore, here we know that she can score 29 points for the ball, but today was not that day. After the performance, Ivarina herself was not very happy with her performance. The 5th in the final was Nicole Zelikman. By the way, I'll explain about Nicole, otherwise they asked. The correct accent in her surname goes on the first syllable, Zelikman, not Zeliman. In all the videos, I stressed as in the last version, but Nicole corrected and wrote that the accent was on the first syllable. So whoever had questions, now we know how to pronounce it right. Mariana Kalin became the 6th, the 7th Katrin Taseva, and Nastya Salas took 8th place with a loss. Oh, this unpredictable Belarusian gymnast. The final with the club was won by Lena, and since she stood out at the beginning, I think she did not even think that she won the gold medal. And the score for the clubs was good, but from the Avernas, one could expect even higher. But Dina could not overcome this point, and in the end became only 2nd. And despite the fact that at the first she was satisfied, when the assessment was announced, Dina found out that she could not get ahead of the Israeli gymnast gymnast, she was very upset. Well, in terms of her performance, it was clearly not her best performance and in her most serious phase at the end of the exercise. I think this could be understood. I already got goosebumps from such seriousness. Well, the bronze was won by an amazing Anastasia Salas, then losses in the last, then purely and medals. But it should be noted that she overtook her closest rival by only 25 thousandths, which is a very small gap for Boriana. I think it was very offensive. So Boriana remained in 4th place, even without medals of certain apparatus, but from yesterday she will be warned by the most important medal of the European Championship for all around. The 5th was Katrin Taseva, 6th Alina Garnaсько, the 7th place was taken by Victoria Naprienka, and the 8th place was taken by Sofia Raffaeli, a gymnast from Italy. Well, the final of the ribbon began immediately with thickness. Not the first day, everyone says that it's humid as possible in the hall, which of course affects the ribbon, which becomes harder and sticks to the body and to the suits, and in general to everything else. So today Nastya Salas got entangled and tore off the ribbon and took 7th place in the all-around. Only Nicole Zelikman from Israel went down a little lower, while the winner was Dina Verina, perfectly selling the program and leaving no one a chance, having come off strongly, and I think the cleaner of all after going through my exercise. Well, very pleasant emotions of joy were on Dina's face after the performance. In 2nd place was Alina Garnaсько, which she did not seem to expect, but this can be understood as at the end she had hitch and deductions could be made for them. But if you remember that the ribbon today was an insidious subject for everyone, then this was enough for Alina to win silver. Well, the bronze went to Arina Verina and her ribbon exercise played a trick on her again today. From the beginning Arina lost the tape and it's incomprehensible from scratch. It was definitely offensive. Well, Lena Stram decided to support Alina and also lost today, so only 4th place in ribbon. As I already said, for Arina and Lenoy, the ribbon is something indicious and unpredictable. The 5th in the ribbon was Katrin Taseva, 6th Kristina Pogranichная. Well, the finals for group teams were also pretty interesting. So the gold in the final with 5 balls was won by the gymnasts of Bulgaria. I think after yesterday's failure, it was attractive for them. I can say that our group started with revenge. Russia has become the 2nd, and their wear today under 5 balls caused a mixed reaction. Of course, I love everything bright and shiny, and the flowers look cool on the purchase. But as for me, there was already a slight overkill and somehow too much of colors. Perhaps without the pants, the swimwear would have looked better, or these pants with more solid color suits. Write in the comments about your news wear. Well, the girls did not go very badly in the exercise, but in terms of complexity, they did not have enough. Perhaps it was a small hitch in a couple of places. Well, the bronze medals were won by Israeli gymnasts. On the 4th place is the team of Belarus, then Italy, Azerbaijan, Ukraine, and Spain. The 2nd final was also very unusual. Gold was won here by the Israeli team, silver by the gymnasts from Bulgaria, and bronze by Italy. The 4th place was taken by the gymnasts of Azerbaijan, and only 5th was taken by a Russian team. And here it seems to me that the effect works when you get out after a long break and on adrenaline you do everything cool and win. Then the mistakes and failures start to come more and more every time. I hope that this roller coaster will settle down as soon as possible before the Olympics and the girls will have time to gain stability. The 6th place among gymnasts went to Ukraine, the 7th team is Spain, and on the 8th place is team of Belarus. Well, on this our European Championship came to an end. I'm waiting for your opinion about the competition. In general, who you liked, who you remembered, what they expected and what they received. We will discuss the results with you in the comments. Well, that's it for today. Remember that I love you all and thank you for spending these 5 days in a row with me. The video was translated and dubbed by Sasha Sinica.